Formula One is not a sport that belongs to one country or one race. This is a universal thing, and people from around the globe take part in this sport by playing different roles. But when we look at the list of drivers that have competed in the Formula One Championship, we can see that the majority of drivers are from developed or leading countries. Through this video, we are going to discuss about the career of the first ever Polish driver to compete in the Formula One Championship. Welcome back to Total F1, but before we proceed, hit the subscribe button and smash the bell icon for more exciting updates. Little Kubica had a big interest in vehicles since his childhood, and after a long discussion with his parents, Kubica's father agreed to buy him a small off-road vehicle powered by a 4 bhp petrol engine. Since then, he spent long hours driving his new vehicle around plastic bottles. But that machine wasn't sufficient to fulfill his thirst for driving when he got older. So, his father gifted him a go-kart which laid the foundation for his racing career. But he had to wait a few years before he could join the go-kart racing, as he was too little. When he joined the championship, he was able to win 6 titles within 3 years. Then he decided to join the 1998 Italian Karting Championship, becoming the first foreigner to win the championship. Then he took part in a number of international karting championships, building his reputation as an emerging talent in Europe. He was able to step into the world of Formula racing as a test driver of the Formula Renault Championship in the year 2000. The Pole was able to demonstrate his superb driving performance in those categories too, finally earning a promotion to the Formula 3 Euro Series. But his plans were delayed when he broke his hand during a road accident. But he decided to compete in the championship with a plastic brace and 18 titanium bolts in his arm, showing his clear dedication to the motorsport. Young Kubica was able to deliver some outstanding performances during his debut in the category. Teams were interested in getting the service of this rising young talent, and Renault was the first team to offer him a test drive in 2005. However, he stepped into the world of Formula One with the BMW Sauber team as its test driver. Kubica experienced an unscheduled F1 debut when Jacques Villeneuve decided not to take part in the Hungarian Grand Prix due to a health issue. During his first experience with an F1 car, young Kubica was able to finish in 9th spot in qualifying and 7th in the overall standings. Unfortunately, Kubica was disqualified from that race due to the use of an underweight car. When Villeneuve decided to leave BMW on the midway of the 2006 season, its management decided to promote Kubica into a permanent role for the rest of that season. BMW management decided to continue with the Polish driver in the 2007 season as well. He showed great maturity when coming to the new season, and he was able to deliver some eye-catching performances despite his BMW Challenger not possessing sufficient pace relative to the rival cars. During the Canadian Grand Prix, Kubica was lucky to save his life after being subjected to a heavy crash which reached a peak G-force of 75 Gs. After that, he had to take a small break before making a return at the French Grand Prix. Kubica was able to complete that season as 6th on the standings with 39 points. Kubica reached the peak point in his F1 career during the 2008 season. 1 year later, after his heavy crash in Canada, Kubica recorded his first ever F1 victory at the same venue. Even though BMW Challengers were very powerful throughout the first half of the season, those machines lost that momentum when moving to the second half. But the Pole drove with his full potential and was able to remain as a title contender till the penultimate round of the season. However, he finished as 4th with 75 points. The Polish driver experienced a disastrous campaign with BMW in 2009, as his Challenger was not powerful enough to remain at least within point finishes. After battling hard with his full potential, Kubica was able to collect 17 points to remain as 14th in the final standings. After failing to establish itself as a powerful brand within F1, BMW decided to leave the sport, making Kubica a free agent for the following season. Renault management was interested in the Polish driver and added him to their 2010 driver lineup. However, the Renault team was in crisis at that moment, and the team's management structure was changed a little bit after selling 75% of the team's ownership to Luxembourg-based investment firm Genie Capital. First, Kubica was unhappy and wanted to leave Renault. Later, he changed his mind and drove for Renault, partnering with Vitaly Petrov. When the Lotus team bought the stakes of the Renault F1 program ahead of the 2011 season, its new management was happy to continue with the existing driver lineup. Unfortunately, Kubica experienced a heavy crash while competing in a rally race. The Pole experienced serious arm and leg injuries and had to go through 5 separate surgeries before making a return to racing. It was no more racing for Kubica in 2011, and he was hopeful about making a return in 2012. As his return was doubtful, Lotus decided to sign Roman Grosjean and Kimi Raikkonen. Unfortunately, Kubica experienced a domestic fall, worsening his conditions, and had to take more time for even a partial recovery. However, he made a return to the motorsport as a rally driver and competed in the World Rally Championship during the period between 2013 and 2016. Apart from that, he took part in some endurance championships as well. Since his accident in 2011, Kubica got the opportunity to drive a Formula 1 car again in 2017. First, he completed a run with Renault at Valencia, and then also took part in the post-Hungarian GP as well. Kubica's fans were hopeful about a return to F1 in 2018, but the door was closed when Renault decided to sign Carlos Sainz and Nico Hülkenberg. Then, he took an alternative path by joining with Williams for its post-season Abu Dhabi tyre test. However, Williams management was happy to go with Sergei Sorokin for the 2018 season, pushing the pole to the test and reserve driver role. After an 8-year absence from the sport, Kubica made a sensational return in 2019 as its driver of the Williams F1 team. He partnered there with F2 champion George Russell. The Williams team was in a crisis at that moment, and challengers were totally uncompetitive. For that reason, Kubica wasn't able to make any impactful return to the sport. He departed Williams at the end of that season, joining as a test and reserve driver at the Alfa Romeo team. During the 2021 season, he was lucky to drive for Alfa Romeo twice as a replacement of COVID-19 positive Kimi Raikkonen. During Kubica's stint with Alfa Romeo, he had the backing of Polish oil company Orlen, which was the title sponsor of Alfa Romeo. When its management decided to switch to AlphaTauri at the end of the 2022 season, Robert Kubica's Formula 1 story also came to an end, as he lost his job at the Hinwil-based team. But it was not the end of the racing chapter of Robert Kubica, as he decided to spend more time focusing on endurance racing. In 2024 also, he has competed for AF Course and Orlen Team AO in different endurance championships. Even though stats don't represent him as a talented driver, people of his era knew the talent that he possessed. It's not an easy thing to step into a competitive sport like Formula 1 after an 8-year absence, but this man did that also. He is now 39 years old and appears to have the energy to remain in the motorsport for more years to come. What do you think about the first Polish driver to compete in the Formula 1 Championship? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel to get more exciting Formula 1 news. See you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.